What's up, guys? Today we're going to talk about strategies especially for new people just coming in. Like, what's the best strategy for racing? What's best for breeding? And these are all in my opinion. They're not financial advice like you always hear people say, but they're not. But this is just what I'm doing and how I feel. So when it comes to if you want to be, a breeder, I think it's kind of a combo. I do both. I'm pushing for racing and for breeding. All right, but to be a breeder, like, it only makes sense in this to have the best horses because those are the ones that people are going to want to buy, right? They're not going to want to buy, a Z10 from you when they can just kind of get a Z10 Genesis on their own. So I wanted the ability to breed low Z number of horses with, the rarest bloodlines, etc. Naming comes into play as well. When you make a foal, you get a cool name, someone's more apt to buy them, especially if their parents are good. So the way you can look at the rarities of Zed is that, you can go over here to more. When you look at Genesis, it'll kind of explain to you like what they are, their purity levels, their scarcity, right? Zabo, Finny, Buterin, right? Obviously the most common horse in Zed, Finnies. Zabos are pretty rare as well, right? The only real difference between them and a Nakamoto, you ask me, is their purity on the genotype purity. But rarity-wise, there's only ever going to be 1,000 Z1 Nakamotos. Genesis. Only ever 1,000 Genesis Z2s. And the same thing goes for the Zabos. There's only going to be 1,000 Z3 Zabos. And there'll only ever be 1,000 Z3 Zabos because you can't create another Z3 Zabo. The lowest Zabo you can breed is a Z4 if you breed it with a Z1. Right? And the same thing with the Z4, there's only 1,000 of those that are going to be on the Genesis level. Now, I found an older chart, and here it shows you the colors, right? It's got all the Genesis horses, so this is all Genesis, no legendaries or anything in here. This is just what the starting numbers were. So there's only ever going to be 4 Z1 Genesis Nakamotos. Same thing with the Stronghold Ivories, and as you go down the list, we can look here, and it shows what they are across the board. Now, if you scroll all the way to the bottom of this, 1,000. Only over 1,000. And there's 99 Easter egg colors, and 2 of them already been released. One is Billions, and the other one is the Fast Lane. But see, this is what I was talking about. Only 1,000 Z1 Genesis, only 1,000 Z2 Genesis, only 1,000 Z3, only 1,000 Z4. And even at Z5, that's pretty rare. I mean, there's only going to be 2,000 Genesis Z5s. And so on and so forth. 10,000 Z10s. All right, so as a breeding perspective, in my opinion, the closer to these numbers you can get, the better. Some people will say, well, look, if you look, there's more slate grays and stronghold ivories. I'm like, well, yes, because they're rare, so people have been breeding them more apt to breed them. But on a Genesis level, these numbers are locked. That's the only Genesis that are going to be available. And there's also there's a Medium article about how the foals inherit, color traits. And also, if you breed 2 horses of the same color and the offspring is that color, they become a super coat of that color. I don't actually have one because I really haven't tried to press for it. All right, so let's see if we can find that Medium post. I could just... How does an offspring inherit color? All right, so you can go to Medium. My internet is being slow. Come on now. So there's lots of articles. There's a lot of articles on Medium that Zed has written. So go to Medium. God, yes, leave me alone. There's a lot of articles that have been written about how to breed, all that stuff in Medium. So if you go to Medium, free, you can read about how color pyramids and groups and the rarity tiers work and all that. And this right here, is just another way of seeing like a quick reference, like what are the super rare colors, what are the rare colors, and what are the common colors. And as a breeder, some of these horses are expensive. Like if you try to buy them, they're the most, everybody's got these marked up pretty good. These rares, they're going to be less but higher than the commons. Sometimes you can score a deal in here, right? But that's just a quick reference for breeding. Color-wise, what your common colors are what your color groups are. Obviously, this is blue, your browns, your greens, your black and whites, your red. These tend to be all the yellow or gold horses. And the Mystic is like a mix of like the purple pinks kind of color, in that spectrum. So that's that really. So what I did is I just went and I'm like, I want the most rare horses. So I went and I paid premium dollar for, my Z1s. It wasn't like I got in early and got them for, way less than what they're selling for. I paid 3-ish Ethereum for almost all of them on an average. And right now, with Ethereum being 400, I'm like, I'm not selling them for less than that if I do decide to sell them. Well, I have a lot more Z1 than this. Just so you guys know. I guess the best place to do it, go back here and look. All right, so I go to my stable. OpenSea's being dumb. Just use my filters. Right, and these are all, if they lump in my Z2s and Z1s together, but this is what I have. And a big believer in this, and Z1s are supposed to be the best, so I shelled it out and got them. Right, so as a breeder, the rarer the color, the rarer and the lower Z number horse, the better. And then what comes along with breeding is if you can prove that they're good racers, then you're going to be able to sell their offspring. People are going to want to breed with them, Moon Chaser, 10% win rate. 10% is decent, right? That's a decent win percentage. Now, not all of them are going to be like my boy Cougar here. Bully. His favorite races, which I figured out, is about 1,600 meters to 1,800 meters. Crushes it. But the thing is to race them. And some of these horses I haven't raced very much. I see, like I ran Hello Plus One only 3 times. Like Horizon Dawn, I haven't even ran them. Well, I guess I have ran them 3 times. As you come through here, all these are going to be reset. Like Romp in the Streets, I've never ran them. Beat Ain't Nothing, haven't ran her. Autumn Spirit, another one I have not ran. Which I probably should. I mean, figure out how they are. But I could kind of tell that Cougar was going to be good because his offspring that I had made were winning, early days. I was like, well, maybe Cougar's one to watch, But to get a low Z number horse and prove they're winners is just going to make them valuable, not only for racing, but also for breeding. People are going to want to breed with them and stuff like that. So that was my thought process. And I bought, I got like 23 or 24 Z1s. And the reason I bought so many is because increase my odds of having someone, a horse that is a champ, right? And, some of these Z1s, the records aren't great, but also like maybe I didn't run them enough. Maybe I didn't put them in the right races. It's kind of figuring out what works best. Z2s, I don't really have tons of Genesis Z2s because I really just focus on getting Z1s. And I got in around Z4s. So if we look at the Zabos, Genesis, I have a lot of these horses I have not ran. But it's kind of a necessity. And my main goal is I just want Z1s or Z4s, and I want to sell offspring and I want stud fees. I want to prove these guys are winners and put them in the stud market and let people breed with them. and earn money doing it. So you look at the market stud service. There's a horse in here that I actually do want to breed with. And I don't even know if this guy knows he won a C1. I don't know if they've gotten a hold of him or not, because I was looking at the roster. One way you could look to see if anybody's buying stuff, you can just go to roster, right, and go to Genesis. And it'll show you all the horses that have been created. And I was looking for that Z1. I did not see him anywhere. The fast lane. So I don't know if they haven't been able to get a hold of said dude or what, or he even knows. He might not even be in the Discord. Check your email, establishment. But anywho, so if you want a quick reference to how things are going, just look right in here. It'll show you who's buying what and who bought them. But anyway, in stud service, there's a minimum fee you can charge. And like I was saying, there's a horse in here, As Bad As You Remember. Check it out. He's raced him 59 times. He got a 20.34 win percentage. Now, I don't know when he ran this horse because I don't remember racing against it. But he's an Arctic Snow, Z2 Genesis. And I have a female that's pretty good. And I was trying to breed him yesterday, but the gas fees were really high. Yeah, so when you do this, you see a really rare coat color. He's got a good record. Don't be afraid to breed with him. That's a fair price. You can just type in, if you know the horse's name, you don't have to get the whole name. As you saw, she popped up, Alpha Omega. She's a good horse. I want to say she's probably got like a 10 or 12% win average. You can only breed twice every 30 days, and you only breed 7 times every 30 days with your males. Buy cover. And gas fees have been pretty high lately, so like, I think if you see a Z2 that's less than 1 point or 0.15, see what that cost me? If I wanted to do that, it's going to cost me 0.157387. There's 60 some bucks just to make a Z2 legendary breeding these two together, right? And they're not in the same color tree either. Alpha Omega is in the wild color tree as a Feldgrau, however you say that. And the Arctic Snow is in the moon color group. But you do have a slight percentage of inheriting the father's coat color, right? And there's a percentage of what you can get with the females. And if you look at the medium posts, there's a whole, that whole thing about coat color and everything. It's all broken down in there and how to do it. I'm just showing you guys this, like when you're looking at pricing for if you do want to buy some, like if you're new to racing, like I was going to talk about that. So if you're new to racing and maybe you don't want to shell out $800 or $1,200 for a Z1, right? And the Z2s are, I think you can get a Z2 right now for 1.5 Ethereum, maybe 2. So they're even expensive as hell. Your next best option is a Z2 legendary. Some Z3 legendaries even. They're still really close to their bloodlines and everything. The only real difference is they're just down one on the breed type or whatever. Now Genesis, they're legendary, but there's still like 5 other, it goes Genesis legendary, exclusive, cross, pacer, right? So when racing goes live and they have all the class systems and everything, and you're racing against other horses, I'm like, these Z2s in the past were, legendaries, were competing and doing, they were competing well against Z1s and Z3s. So it's a good way to get low Z number horses. I would look for offspring that are from winning horses, right? But you're going to pay a little more for them. Like you're going to see horses listed for less, but maybe their pedigree is not as good. You know what I mean? You're going to be paying for the pedigree a little bit. And just because these 2 horses I think are going to be winners, I just got a feeling to show you guys. I'm going to breed this horse, but just know, for the record, it's going to cost me 0.157. So if I list this offspring, it ain't going to be anything less than 0.2. Because when you sell on OpenSea, they take a percentage of that sale goes to OpenSea, and a percentage also goes to Zed. And it says that in there when you look at it. It's like 2.5%, I believe. 5% total, but 2.5 goes off OpenSea, 2.5 goes to Zed. And then you get the rest. We'll confirm this. And hopefully it doesn't take forever because of freaking network, right? So you can go check activity or back to stud. I'm just going to do it one time. And if you breed with yourself, you get a 35% discount. So, but I'm paying a little more because he's proven and he's a rare coat color. So it's okay. You just need to keep track of that when you go to, if you're going to sell the foal. Like, oh, I paid more money to make that one, so I need to charge more, I guess, if that makes sense. So that's another reason for getting a decent sized stable is that you breed with yourself, it could be cheaper, and then your profit margin will be better, if that makes any sense. So let's do a rundown of things. If you want to be a breeder, low Z number, lower the better. Nakamoto's and Zabos, I would say, would be the best. Not that Finnies are bad, but people are going to want the Nakamoto bloodline, I think, and the Zabo. So you want to stay low with your Z number types. You're more chance for someone to stud with them, right? The higher your Z number gets, the less meaningful the Z number means. Because if I got a horse that's, a Z100, what does it matter if I breed with a Z20 over a Z1? It's really, you see what I mean? Like, it's not that big of a change in the number. What would be more important to look at would be, I want to breed with a winner, right? So if you have a Z20 that's a proven winner, or a Z1 that's not a proven winner, and you're a Z100, which one are you going to breed with? I'd breed with a Z20 because I got a better chance of having a quality racehorse out of it. You know, that's just how I think, and I think other people think the same way. And so when you go to build your stable, if you just want to go for racing, just look for offspring of winning horses, and you're going to have a really good shot of winning. And don't be afraid to buy some of those Genesis horses that you see in the Zed marketplace either, right? And so when you come to the activity page, it'll show you all the horses it'll even what you nominated for races. So this can get a little conglomerated, but if it's in here, it's going to go through. Yeah, but don't be afraid to buy one of these. You might get yourself a winner. So I wish this would say color. I wish it would have the color listed like maybe like right below it, what they are. Because this looks like an Arctic snow, but it could be just a ghost white. Yep. See? That's what I figured it'd be. They look so similar. But don't be afraid to buy some of these other ones. If you see a name you really like or stuff like that, because they are Genesis and there is going to be a place for them in the Zed community, especially with race classes and stuff like that. They're going to have like bloodline only races and stuff. This race is for Buterins only, and these races are for Finnies only. So there's going to be a place for these horses. But as you can see, 0.19. I mean, not what you would call cheap. So your best place for that, if you're looking to just buy good racehorses, you go to your OpenSea. Now, when I do it, it takes me, because my wallet, I'm already signed in, it's just going to take me straight to my, I don't know, it's not really my stable page, but my account with OpenSea. But if you want to see what's for sale, this is what I do, especially when I'm looking as a breeder to like, what are horses selling for, right? I'm not ever going to sell for a loss, but what are they selling for? Why limit yourself? Like this guy, he's got a pair of Z2s, rare coat color, chart horse. They are legendary Z2, legendary Z2. Now, if you want to know a little more about the horse, you can click this little button here and say view on Zed.Run. See who the parents are, right? And then you can just click on this horse and it'll take you to Clyde, Bonnie and Clyde. That's kind of cool. Actually, it's kind of neat. Good thinking there. You want to make sure that they're not related. Wow, it's even listing other offsprings. That's cool. Well, that's the new updated feature. Maybe it's always been there. I don't know. So this one's, he's got the Weekend and Chase Jackson. Both unproven horses. Guaranteed neither one of them are raced. Now see? Brother and sister. So they're not really what you'd call a breeding pair. right? Because you can't breed brothers and sisters. I know you cubes, he's good stuff. I like this little update, Zed. That's kind of neat. Gainsboro. That's one of those super rare colors. Yeah, but you can load more. How many's he got? 27? Holy crap. Was this guy crank out Chartor's colors? Any? Alright. Well, what was this one? Clyde and Bonnie. So they have the same parents, so you can't breed these two together, is what I'm saying. And, you know, go and close these. He wants 1.4 for that. That's a little steep. Because watch, when we go over here, go back. I guess I could just hit the back button, but whatever. When we look, you can isolate. Now, hopefully these filters aren't all stupid like they were from my own stable. Like, look, it's not listing. It's not listing any of the Z1s. So when you do that, say legendary Z2, sort by lowest price. You know, you can go do your coat color. I mean, if there's something specific you're looking for in here, right? This is no wonder sales of horses have been down because this filter sucks. Like I have Z2 legendaries for sale right now, and it is not showing it at all. Like 0.07 breeding pair, 0.06, like what the hell? Maybe you just go Z2 and you just gotta live with it. Oh, our transaction confirmed for our breeding horse. You know, 0.1 for serendipitous. So you come here and you can look and see what horses are going for. The reason why I lowered these is because the price of Ethereum has gone up by so much. So you can look, but just browse, right? See if there's something like, I know it's tedious. You know, another thing you can do is to reach out to some of the bigger stables and be like, hey, you know, can I get, or maybe even commission a breed? Will you breed this horse and this horse together? Or will you put this horse instead so I can breed with it to get a better foal? You can do that. But like Scruffy Pennant's here. This is one of my horses, that's what I know. Left his price high because his father is pretty legit. And not my horse, right, that I bred with. His dad's Scruffy. And this is my horse, Thunderbolt. She really hasn't ran that many races, but you can look. Like I need to run her more. She's only ran 4 races and placed twice. So her place percentage is like 50%. So let's calm down, you know. Just because I haven't won, you know, it doesn't mean she's a loser. Like I haven't got first yet. But you can go and look at all her offspring, which I think is pretty sweet. And you can see that some of these horses, you know, real men wear pink. He's a good horse, and he's actually for sale, if I remember right. And that's why I think this guy is going to be a good horse, because a lot of his offspring tend to be kind of winners. But anyway, yeah, I'm getting sidetracked a little bit because I think this is neat that you can go through here. However, just that's how you do it. Look for those winning Z2s if I was going to be a new racer. And I wouldn't be afraid to buy some of the Genesises. I'm not going to lie. And sometimes you can find people that are selling because maybe they got some financial hardship or something, you know, and they need to sell and they're willing to be, you know, at a break even. But what's killing me is these Zed filters. This filter system over here isn't the greatest. Maybe what if we try that one? There we go. Okay. I've noticed that before. Like if you go up here, this one for some reason doesn't seem to work right if you select it. So I don't know. Someone at OpenSea doesn't know what the hell they're doing or what. But so use the breed type filter to get to the legendaries. And I believe there's more than that. So we'll just have to see what's going on. But go shopping. And that's all I really got, guys. I feel like I'm beating a drum a little bit on the new racer thing. If I was a new racer, I'd buy Z2 legendaries from proven winners. I would also look for any chance to get a Z2 for a fair price. I mean a Z1, sorry, for a fair price. And a fair price would be, I mean, if you can get it for $800, it's probably a good deal because on average, just through the year and a half, 2 years of doing this, Z1s usually they sitting around $700. You know, they've held their value. So as a racer, Z2, like even if you're getting in new and you don't want to drop a crap load of money, your best bet is Z2 legendaries, maybe Z3 legendaries even. Some Genesis, higher Genesis Cs would be okay as well, but I would definitely look at buying proven winning foals from, parents who are proven winners right now. But the stats are all going to get reset, so better be doing your homework, meow, on who's winning, watch, and, you know, do your thing. That's it. KB, got any questions or comments, just go ahead and leave them in the comment section and I'll answer them there. Or, maybe I'll make another video on it if it wasn't as clear. Click that little subscribe button. I'd appreciate it. And because that algo really likes a like as well. Like, so if you like the video, like it. If you didn't like it, don't like it. I'm okay with that, So anywho, till next time, fellas.